Anybody that professes to be Christian, it's not just a belief in God, it's stepping into relationship with the God-man, Jesus. If you confess with your mouth that Jesus is Lord and you believe in your heart that God has raised him from the dead, you will be saved. That's the confession of the Christian faith. And everything about that is to reconcile you into right standing with this great spirit that Christianity called God the Father, in terms of the way that it's pictured. We've got the opportunity to give to the people around us the thing that we need to give. You talked about render unto Caesar what is Caesar, and that was when Jesus was asked why he didn't pay the taxes, or his disciples weren't paying the taxes or doing whatever they're doing, or how much tax should be paid. He holds this little denarius up and he goes, whose face is on the coin? And he goes, well, Caesar's. And he goes, right, well, give to Caesar what's to Caesar's and give to God what's God's. The question is then, well, what is God? And then you go, well, whose image is on you? You are made in the image of God. Therefore, give to God what is God's. You carry the image of God. You should be the visible representation of the God that you claim to worship. And unfortunately, too many people are the visible representation of the God that they do worship, because they worship greed, they worship avarice, they worship vice, they worship all of these horrible things. But when you worship Jesus, that is the God that you should represent. And that is the image that should be stamped on you. And that is how you should walk through your life. Arms wide open, ready to grab anybody that you meet and say, hey mate, come along here, be free. My peace I leave with you. Not as the world gives do I give, but my peace I leave with you. And he doesn't say he's going to pull you out of troubles, but he does say that he's going to be with you in it.
And there's also a temporal warning here to people who want to be Christian nationalist. If I said Mussolini and Hitler, people will know who they are. But I can give you names from the 17th, 18th, 16th, 15th, 14th century demagogues, and most people would never heard of them. And that's the warning. Whoever you currently want to be in power, is immortal. And if you put your hopes on that cart eventually will disappear. But the message of Christianity, of the Christ, has been around for thousands of years. And it's going to be around longer than certain politicians and people currently in the news. What's going to happen when they pass on? Your whole ethos is going to crumble away. It's not a foundation that's very strong. What's the parable of the house being built on weak foundations? Basic logic will tell you that if you're going to go down a route of hate, it doesn't last. It never has, and it never will.
And it's nonsense, and it's totally antithetical to the message that every one of Jesus' disciples preached, and the Apostle Paul.